Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We return to this melody that we used for the High Holy Days last year. So sing along with me as we get into our service for Shabbat and preparation for the 4 weeks of Elul. We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to we return again to one more. We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to you. We return again to you.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to see you, Cantor.
Good to see you, Rabbi.
We have seen each other distantly, socially distant this whole past week as we have been in the sanctuary recording. We've turned our sanctuary into a beautiful recording and TV studio to help us prepare for the High Holy Days. And this has been an exhausting week. I am really looking forward to Shabbat. How about you?
Yes, very much so.
Well, as you said, this is the first day, literally, of the month of Elul. And during this sacred month that precedes the month of Tishrei, the first month of the year, or the seventh month of the year, depending on which calendar you look at, we prepare ourselves. We prepare ourselves spiritually. We prepare ourselves emotionally as we are about to enter into the Yamim Noraim, these high holy days, and we go through this process of Cheshbon HaNefesh. I'll be talking a little bit more about that before we start reading the Torah. But it's good for us to be here all together. Cantor, are there melodies that we're going to be? Can we go back to the full screen, Sean, if that's possible? Thank you. Is there anything unique liturgically about this time?
So many things that are unique liturgically. Well, so actually one of the nice things about being in the sanctuary this week and recording all of our High Holy Day music is that it has reminded me of all of our High Holy Day music, which is a perfect entry into this.
Which is giving me a stomach ache, but that's another discussion.
That's right. Now tonight, as Rabbi Black said, we begin our 4 weeks of Elul. We begin the month leading into the High Holy Days, and we as a congregation take this opportunity to really wash over us the melodies of the High Holy Days. And so tonight, you will notice that most of our liturgy is going to be using the melodies that we generally use on the High Holy Days. And we've even made a couple of small liturgical changes that reflect the liturgical changes that usually happen on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, particularly in the Tefillah section, in the Amidah section. So we'll point those out to you as we go forward. But it is a chance to wake up our souls, which we'll actually talk about directly in just a few moments, and remind ourselves that the music is as much of a sense memory as everything else about this season. So we begin this process as we walk toward Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur together.
And now there we go. So before we slip too quickly into the season of the soul, let there be a Sabbath of Sabbaths for the heart. Before the music of creation's majesty, let there be a silent praise of existence. Before the feast of sanctified words, let there be a poetry of solitude. And before we enter the palaces of prayer, let us find within ourselves a place of calm. Before we revel in the wondrous and sublime, let there be an honest inward gaze. And before the rites and ceremonies of awe, let there be quieter days, an island of attentiveness. We continue by kindling the Shabbat lights.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat.
This month of Elul prepares us for what is to come very soon. And every Shabbat, though, we are given a taste of the way the world should be, the taste of joy, a taste of love. Just like we welcome Shabbat as we would welcome a beloved. So we say, Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla. Come, my beloved, let us greet the Shabbat bride with joy, with everything in our souls, with anticipation, and most importantly, with love.
Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabla. Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabel. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad yishmi'anu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lachu v'necha ki mekor abracha berosh mikayem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavot tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hit'oreri ki va'orech kumi ori shir daveri kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala p'nei Shabbat בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשורה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We remain standing or rise now as we are able, as we prepare for Baruch. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are our God of all. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv haravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. Love beyond all space and time, your love enfolds your people Yisrael. We receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. Together. So let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love, for you are blessed, the one who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we
You shall love the ones who are close with all your heart, with all your spirit, with all your strength. Remember these words, inscribe them on your heart. Love them when they struggle, when they sadden and disappoint you. Love them when they fail. See the good within them, even when they can't. Look at them and listen, even when it's hard. Be grateful for their guidance, even their reproof when they save you from yourself. Love them when they give you joy, and love them when they don't. When you lie down, let go of anger. When you rise up at dawn, begin again. Praise them for their deeds at home. Speak to them in public with respect. Bind yourselves to the ones you love with promises kept and vows fulfilled. Open to them the gates of your heart, the doorway of your soul, and let them know you. So shall the ones you cherish feel your love, your presence, and your care. Leman tizkuru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim lelohechem. Thus you shall remember and be holy, do all of my commandments. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of Egypt. Liot lachem leElohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, to be your God. I am Adonai, your God. When Israel went forth from Egypt, B'tzeit Yisrael miMitzrayim, we went forth. Behind us now the speech of strangers. Ahead, the freedom to speak our own words and discover the holy. Witnessing this, the great sea fled. The river changed its course. The mountains danced like rams, the hills like sheep. Sea, river, and mountains, what has become of you? Why flee? Change course. Why dance like rams and sheep? Stand in awe, all the earth. The God of Jacob turns rock to water, stone to a gushing stream. Life changes course in an instant. Sing from the heart. Awaken to life's wonders.
We praise you, eternal power, the one who redeemed Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Only in you my soul finds quiet. My rescue comes from you. You are my rock, still point of the turning world. I hold fast and will not fall.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין ישראל אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ביני ובין ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Before the silent prayer, some slip the hood of their prayer shawls over their heads so that even among many worshippers, they are alone with God. Primo Levi wrote about the sadness of a cart horse shut between two shafts and unable even to look sideways. Let me be like those pious ones, or that horse, so that even amidst a crowd, no other crosses the threshold of my dreaming. We rise now as we are able, as we begin the tefillah. Adonai sefati tiftach ufi hagi tehilatecha. Adonai sefati tiftach ufi hagi tehilatecha. Open up my lips and let my mouth declare your praises. Adonai sefati tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai sefati tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha.
הגיבור והנורא, העליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ביעבו. זוכרנו לחיים, ולחפש בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. זוכרנו לחיים, ולחפש בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Your life-giving power is forever, Adonai, with us in life and in death. You liberate and save, cause dew to descend, and with mercy abundant lovingly nurture all life. From life to death, you are the force that flows without end. You are faithful even to those who rest in the dust. Power beyond power, from whom salvation springs, sovereign over life and death, who is like you? Merciful God, who compares with you? With tender compassion, you remember all creatures for life. Faithful and true, worthy of our trust, you sustain our immortal yearnings. In you we place our undying hopes. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Wellspring of blessing, power eternal, you are the one who gives and renews all life.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
And as we move into this month of Elul, we begin the process of Cheshbon HaNefesh, taking an inventory of our souls. We need time just to think, just to pray, just to commune with ourselves and with you, O God. So we're going to take a few moments now for Tfilat HaLev, prayers of the heart.
holy soul, wake up in your life. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit, and I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness, and I will teach your love to the lonely, and the lost will find their way home. You Leratzoni meithi v'yon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri legoali Adonai tzuri vegoali.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We continue now with Seder Kriyat Torah for the service for the reading of the Torah. And this week we enter into the new month of Elul. And the Torah portion is Shoftim. Now today, the 21st of August, marks the first day of the Hebrew month of Elul. And it's customary during this holy month, as we talked about, that precedes the high holy days, to begin this intensive preparation for the new year. We've heard it through the music that the Cantor has so beautifully shared with us, that we've sung together, that impacts our souls. For many of us clergy, when we hear high holiday music, it brings back memories of beauty and also a lot of angst. But that's okay, because this is a time when we should feel angst. So that's a good thing. So thank you for that, Cantor. But we go through this process of cheshbon hanefesh, this taking an inventory of our souls. And during this sacred season, we look closely at our thoughts, our relationships, our deeds, our fears, our dreams. And we do this so that we can enter into the Yamim Noraim, these days of awe, spiritually and personally refreshed and prepared for this process of tshuva, this returning, this repentance. Our tradition teaches that the month of Elul compels us to ask those around us whom we have wronged to forgive us for our actions if we have wronged them. And we're also commanded to forgive those who ask us as well. Now, this is an intense time to be going through cheshbon hanefesh, because of course this past year has been filled with so many challenges, physical, economic, spiritual, and emotional. We've been isolated from one another. I've been sneaking a glimpse at the comments on Facebook, and people are saying how nice it is to see everybody's name, but how wish we could be together. And believe me, we do have that longing in our heart, but there's nothing we can do about it. And we face a lot of uncertainty in our lives. A dangerous virus lurks all around us. And we don't know when or if what capacity it might strike, and our economy is suffering. Jobs have been lost. We can't be present with our loved ones in times of both difficulty and celebration. Tomorrow, we have 4 B'nai Mitzvah, once again, that we are celebrating. And while some of them are going to be in person, only a limited number of people can be there, and others will be completely online. And we celebrate. It's going to be wonderful, but there's something that we miss. It's taken a huge toll on all of us. And sometimes when we're in the midst of a crisis, it's hard to find perspective as we confront its challenges head on. And yet perhaps now is the perfect time to try to put every aspect of our lives into perspective. If we only stay rooted in the here and now, in this moment, we risk losing the possibility of finding hope in what is yet to come. Now, 24 years ago, it's amazing for me to say that, I started a tradition during the month of Elul where I sent weekly lists of 7 questions, one for each day of the week, to members of our community and all who wish to receive them. And these questions are designed to help us examine our lives in all of the varied aspects and arenas in which we live. Our communal lives, our interpersonal lives, our spiritual lives, and our physical lives. And hopefully, by answering these questions, we will be better prepared to enter into the Yamim Noraim, into the days of awe. This year, we're going to do something a little bit different. I've also invited the members of our amazing clergy team at Temple Emmanuel to join with me and choose one week to pose their own questions. Now, the purpose of these questions is not to make us feel bad or unworthy, but rather to nudge us into looking at these vitally important aspects of our lives. Now, our tradition took the very specific mitzvah of Cheshbon HaNefesh, and I want to talk about this week's Torah portion. The Torah portion we read for the Shabbat, the first Shabbat in Elul, is called Shoftim. And in Shoftim, we come across a concept called Bal Tashchit. Now, Bal Tashchit means do not destroy. And this comes from Deuteronomy 20:19, where we find the following prescription for waging war. It says, when you wage war against the city and you have to besiege it a long time, in order to capture it, you must not destroy its trees. You must not wield the axe against them. You may eat of them, but you must not cut them down. And then the Torah asks a question: are trees of the field human to withdraw before you into a besieged city? Now, this mitzvah of Bal Tashchit, don't cut down any trees when you're about to besiege a city, was broadened into a general rule about the need not to be wasteful of anything. And many Jews have used this text to justify and reinforce the essential aspects of conservation of resources and the preservation of our environment. But if we broaden our perspective and apply Bal Tashchit, do not destroy the trees or anything, to the area of Cheshbon HaNefesh and the essential tasks that we must take on during the month of Elul, we can also find a powerful metaphor for our own process of exploring our relationship with others in the community. Most trees pretty much can take care of themselves, but sometimes they need pruning and care. And if we neglect caring for them, they can be damaged. We have, just outside my window as I sit here in my study studio / there's a beautiful tree. It's an elm tree that we're seeing that there are some of the it's an ash tree actually, and there are ash borers in it. And so we've had to have people come and take care of it and give it all the treatment so that we can protect it. And we see it's losing its leaves, and it's very upsetting for us, but we need to care for them. And so too, our relationships, that's a powerful metaphor. We need to care for our relationships as well. They need care and feeding like everything else in our lives. So in thinking about what this has to do with Cheshbon HaNefesh, what this has to do for the process of Teshuvah, I was reminded of a quote from a medieval commentator by the name of Saadia Gaon, who writes, just as in battle, we may make the mistake of treating everything in front of us as the enemy, instead of just destroying the enemy, so too with tshuva. We need to differentiate between what experiences are to be destroyed from our past and which experiences need to be retained because they may later bear fruit. Teshuvah needs to be selective and reparative. It shouldn't be a slash and burn. We can't simply abandon our past and our mistakes and ourselves if we feel bad about them. No, we need to take care of them. We need to prune. We need to refresh and confront our past and find ways to use our mistakes and those of others to build a better future. And so when we look at how our relationships, this week I'm writing about communities. You'll be receiving an email probably this evening around 7:15, as we've hopefully set it in motion, with our relationships with the communities in which we live are functioning. The metaphor of Bal Tashchit can be very powerful. Communities are built around the proposition that each of us is responsible for one another. It takes work to maintain healthy communities and healthy institutions in our communities. And in this time of COVID-19, many communities are endangered. Not being able to come together physically means that we need to work especially hard to ensure that the values and the experiences and the basic visions of the communities in which we invest our time and our treasure can survive. The fact that we at Temple Emmanuel have been able to pivot our worship and life cycle experiences to an online platform has been both edifying and disconcerting. Yes, we can pray. Yes, we can celebrate and comfort one another when the need arises. But it truly isn't the same, as we all know, that when we can be together in person. It's wonderful to be here with all of you now. But I would love to be able to hug you. I would love to be able to see you. The shifting of priorities brought on by this pandemic can threaten our very survival, a fact about which we, our clergy, our lay, and our professional leadership are very aware. And we're concerned. We're concerned about how we're going to be able to keep functioning. And this extends beyond our synagogue into every arena in which we operate. The following questions that I'm going to ask, and then you'll receive them in the mail as well, are designed to help us to explore ways in which we can work to strengthen our communal relationships. So question number 1. Have I allowed myself to become less connected to my congregation and community over this past year? Number 2. During this time of political turmoil, have I found myself less open to others' ideas and concerns when they don't agree with my own? And number 3, similarly, in a virtual world where it's easy to shut out people and ideas that make us uncomfortable, have we allowed ourselves to block people, and you can do that, or institutions with whom we otherwise would have engaged in different times? Question 4. Have I worked to improve my community? Number 5. Have I been able to understand the issues that affect communities other than my own? For example, people of different ethnic, racial, or sexual orientation than me. We've seen upheaval in the streets of our cities, and we need to understand and get inside the skin of those who are suffering, who are protesting. Number 6. Have I reached out to support those community institutions that have been especially hit hard by the impact of COVID-19? And number 7, understanding that everyone has been impacted by the pandemic, and we all have, we know that some have been impacted more than others. Have I reached out to help those who have been less fortunate than me? Now, as always, these questions are in no way complete. They're designed to help all of us to begin the process of looking deep within ourselves and, yes, our souls as we enter into the month of Elul. And we want to hear from you. If you have thoughts or questions or comments about anything, we encourage you to let us know. We're all in this together. And so, as we enter into this month of Elul, my prayer is that we may all utilize these and all of our questions to help gain a better understanding of our communal selves. Shabbat Shalom. And now we continue with Seder Kriyat Torah, the reading of the Torah. And we have many, many people who are being honored this weekend. First of all, our pre-Torah blessing tonight is Sophia Edwards and family, who will be celebrating becoming Bat Mitzvah tomorrow. Reading Torah, our wonderful Ba'alat Kriya, our Torah reader Lisa Velik, will be reading from Shoftim, the beginning of the Parashat, Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 18 through 22. Translating Torah, a member of our board of trustees, Farah Stern, and blessing the Torah after the reading, another one of our B'nai Mitzvah, Max Feierstein.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hashem Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim, V'natan Lanu Et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Shoftim v'shotrim, titen lecha b'chol she'arecha, asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha lishpatecha, v'shavtu et ha'am mishpat tzedek. Lo tateh mishpat, lo takir panim, velo tika shohad, ki ha-shohad ya'aver enei chachamim, v'salev divrei tzadikim. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof, leman tihiyah, ve'yarashta et ha'aretz, Asher Adonai Elohecha noten la, lo tita lecha, asherah kol eitz eitzel mizbach, Adonai Elohecha asher ta'aseh la, velo takim lecha makseva, Asher sonei Adonai Elohecha.
You shall appoint magistrates and officials for your tribes in all the settlements that the Eternal your God is giving you, and they shall govern the people with due justice. You shall not judge unfairly. You shall show no partiality. You shall not take bribes, for bribes blind the eyes of the discerning and upset the plea of the just. Justice, justice shall you pursue, that you may thrive and occupy the land that the Eternal your God is giving you. You shall not set up a sacred post, any kind of pole beside the altar of the Eternal your God, that you may make or erect a stone pillar, for such the Eternal your God detests.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen. Beautiful for everybody. Good to see you all. Farah, I like seeing your puppy there. That was nice. So we're going to continue now at this moment of reading our scripture, at this moment of being aware of our fragility with the Mishberach. The blessing for healing, and as always, I'll be reading a list of names, but if there are other names that are not on this list but are in your hearts that you want to write down, let us know so we can pray together on their behalf. Sing with me. Mishberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. On this Shabbat we are mindful of Zachary Hoffman, of David Karner, David Lustig, Marcia Richter, Paul Kamensky, Dr. Carrie McCallie, Natalie Mosier, Corey Franklin, Margaret Glubach, Bob Connolly, Lori Markman, Jeff Cohn, David Goldenberg, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stuart Myers, Zelfried Nash, Sonny Talbers, Jerry Butter, Shanti Khazan, Robert Tucker, Jennifer Brynan, Lynn Pollitt, Sarah Ellen McIntyre, Lynn McLaughlin Cromar, Cynthia Friedland, Dana Huss, Harold Gluscoder, Betsy Epel, Louis Karsh, Robin Huss, Joe Kaufman, Mandel Winter, Arlene Galchinsky, Nancy Schwader. We're mindful of those fighting fires here and around the country whose lives are in danger, all of our first-line responders, and all those whose names are being written as I speak. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekor HaRefuah, we praise you, Adonai, the source of healing. Mi sheberach imotenu Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
We continue now with Aleinu as we rise, as we are able physically or spiritually. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asenu keguyei haratzot, velo zamanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
Rabbi.
Let's try that again. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. As on this Shabbat, we remember those who were taken from us this past week. Kea Gwendolyn Dunham, Barbara M. Glazer, Harriet Saper, and Susan Elaine Weil. We also remember those who were taken from us during the previous 30 days: Albert Cordova, Sally Gass, Marion Goldman, Alan Levin, Rabbi Adin Steinsaltz, and Robert Weber. We remember those whose yahrzeit, the anniversary of whose death, occurs at this time: Abraham Bender, Harry O. Berenbaum, Evelyn Betts, Babette Block, Hazel Oberfelder Blumenthal, Joe Brown, Rose Brown, Ria H. Castle, Leon Walnow Cohn, Harold V. Cook, Lenore G. Cook, Evelyn G. Davis, Edith Davidson, Robert Deutsch, Ben Disman, Reuben Dicker, Betty Finkelstein, Louis E. Fiske, Phil I. Francis, Gust Frosch, Jane Spiegelman Gidwitz, Florence W. Green, Bertha S. Goldman, Babette B. Hart, Fanny Hindelman, Royal Judd, Jay Kornfeld, Helene Kurtz, Pauline Landsman, Goldie Lasky, Daniel L. Lehrberger, J. Leonard Levy, Beverly Morrison Lopatin, Herman Loop, Max Lowenstein, Joseph Lustig, Mosmeyer, Gert and Wilhelm Mock, Dr. Albert Oxman, Helen Golder-Plotka, Betty Prince, Etta Rakowski, Samuel N. Rinskoff, Donna Sapkin, Leonard Sampson, Isidore Samuels, Rose Schaefer, Morris Schenkine, Elizabeth D. Schwartz, Edward Sheftel, Morris Shore, John Ander Sigman, Morris Solomon, Henry E. Schubart, Douglas Paul Schwader, Isidore Samuels, Gertrude Wiseman Weatherhorn, and Ruth Zeppelin. We remember 10 of the 420 precious souls from the community of Colleen, with whom our congregation is intrinsically linked through our Colleen Chapel and our Sefer Torah within it. David Mendel, Sarah Tauba Morakova, Herman Morovich, Zhnetka Nigroshlova, Dr. Carol Ornstein, Eva Ornsteinova, Hermina Ornsteinova, Rita Ornsteinova, Oti Pakovska, and Jan Pakovsky. And if there are other names for whom Kaddish is being said, I ask that you write them now into the chat so that we can stand with you. As I now ask, if you have lost a loved one during the past 30 days, please rise, either physically or spiritually. If you are within the 11-month period of mourning since the loss of a loved one, rise now so that we can stand with you spiritually or physically. And if you are observing a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death, we rise with you as well, as we together recite words of the mourner's Kaddish that bind generation to generation. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabba, bi'alma divrach hir'utei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach, la'alam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar, V'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. And may the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here among us, whatever they may be. And let us all say, Amen.
So long as we live, they too shall live. They are now a part of us. They are now a part of us. They are now a part of us. As we remember. So we are going to take a minute to do some brief announcements. There is a lot happening over the weekend, as Rabbi Black mentioned before. And what's really nice about it is that it actually really displays the breadth and diversity of our congregation, both in terms of with whom we are celebrating and also the strengths of our team, because there's lots of different people on our team who are leading all kinds of really special Shabbat experiences. over the course of the weekend. So tomorrow morning, and all of this, by the way, I'm going to say out loud quickly, and it's going to be on the slides at the end of the service, and is on our website, and is listed in lots of different places. So if you have questions, you can definitely find it. But tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., two things are happening. We will be celebrating the bat mitzvah of Sophia Edwards, which is a beautiful, wonderful event. I do just want to mention that the in-person event at Temple is a private event for the family only, and that is because of public health restriction, because we are severely size limited. And so I would ask that if you would like to join and participate in the bat mitzvah and see Sophia be an absolutely amazing chanter of Torah and teacher of Torah as well, that you do that on our Temple Emmanuel Denver B'nai Mitzvah Facebook page. And I am sure that I think Steve Stark, who is greeting tonight, can pop that into the comments on Facebook right now. That's a special page dedicated to our B'nai Mitzvah services. 9 a.m., Sophia will become bat mitzvah, and on our regular Facebook page that we're watching on right now, Brad Cohen, who's our new director of youth and family engagement, is going to be leading what I can only imagine is going to be a truly awesome young family Shabbat experience.
Absolutely.
Truly awesome. So that will, please come and meet Brad and see his wonderful sense of humor and how excited he is by Jewish education. So that's 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, Rabbi Black is teaching Torah study, which you can participate in either in the Zoom call if you've registered on the WUFU, and if you would still like to just put it in the comments real quick and we can send you the WUFU link, or on our Facebook page.
Cantor, when you say the WUFU, I don't think anybody knows what a WUFU is.
That is a sign-up sheet. We will send you the sign-up sheet. Does that make you feel better, Rabbi Black?
Thank you, it does.
Okay.
It sounds funny to say WUFU, but I think we should say
Yes,
sign-up sheet.
So many fun words we're all learning.
Things we learn. Go ahead.
That's right. Okay, so that's 10 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, Rabbi Hyatt and Steve Brodsky will be leading the community service, also on the Temple Emmanuel Denver Facebook page. At 11:30, Max Feierstein will become bar mitzvah. Finally, Max was the first bar mitzvah to not happen when we closed down for COVID-19, and Max has done a great job of waiting, and so we are really, really excited to celebrate with him. At 11:30, also on our B'nai Mitzvah Facebook page. And then there's more. At 3 o'clock, Melissa Acker will become bat mitzvah in a Zoom service that will be streamed to Facebook. And at 5:30, the Malik twins, Henry and Jacob Malik, will celebrate their B'nai mitzvah with Rabbi Black and myself, also streamed through Zoom to the B'nai Mitzvah Facebook page. And then at 7 o'clock, we will have a Havdalah, for truly we will need to celebrate the joy that we experienced on Shabbat, and maybe even have like a little bit more rest on Sunday after the joyful day that we had.
Aren't we recording on Sunday, Cantor, some more?
Yes. But that's okay. Jody Abrams and Zahava Davis, who are Schwader and youth engagement professionals, are going to be leading us in a beautiful Havdalah service as well. Okay. So I'm sure all of you have that entirely memorized. That's what's happening on Shabbat. The only other thing that I would say is we are just about to launch a whole lot of material about what is happening on the High Holy Days here at Temple Emmanuel. We've talked about how we have started to record some material for the worship services, but there's so much more. Teaching sessions and family engagement programs, and our entire team is really pouring their energy into an amazing array of opportunities. So please watch your inboxes, check out our website. We're about to launch that in the next week so that everyone can get themselves settled for the High Holy Days. And that, I think, is quite enough of an announcement.
I think so too.
Yes.
I'm exhausted. Yeah. Just listening to you.
And so with that, we continue with Kiddush. I think we all need a drink after that anyway. And we raise our glasses together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. And now we have challah, which we are going to bless together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
So during Elul, one of the things that we do is we blow the shofar to help us get ready for the High Holy Days. And so this kavanah, this mention, this dedication is a way that we prepare ourselves. The shofar curves upward. Its name means beauty. Its essence is ascent. Sound of the ram's horn, lift us from lethargy, shatter despair. Beauty beckons. Tomorrow's door is open and we can be better than we are. Cantor, do you want to do the bracha?
I would be happy to. We say, Baruch atah Adonai shomea teruah. Blessed are you, Adonai, who hears the sound of the shofar. And we say, Tekiah. Shavarim teruah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah. Tekiah. Teruah. Tekiah gedolah.
Baruch Tehiyah.
And so we conclude our service this evening with words of return, with words of love and hope and a sense of turning toward God so that we can all come together in our hearts, in our minds, and in our souls. We return again to you. We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return. We return, we return, we return, return again. We return, we return, we return, return again and again to you. We return again to you.
Before I give the closing benediction, Sean Wall, who is our amazing audiovisual technician, turn on your camera, Sean. Come on. This I get emotional. This past week, Sean had his Beit Din and has become a member of the Jewish people and has taken the name Yehonatan. Oh my God, Yehonatan Naftali. And, Sean has been a part of this community for a long time. When I came here, he was helping do sound for Shabbat Unplugged here and there. And he's become an integral part of our team and a dear, dear friend whom we love very much. So I want to say Mazel Tov to you, Sean. We're thrilled.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mazel Tov. I didn't think I'd get verklempt, but here we go. So a closing prayer. Eloheinu ve'Elohei kol doroteinu, our God and the God of every generation. On this Shabbat of return, on this Shabbat when we enter into the month of Elul and begin this journey of cheshbon hanefesh, of taking a deep inventory of our soul, we give thanks for moments of awareness of your presence. We give thanks for the ability to prune our relationships, to care for and to water and tend the soil of our community. God, we need your presence at this time, and we walk and return to you each day of this month of Elul as it brings us closer to this family reunion, this time when we come together, when we are aware of the power of your love, your forgiveness, and our need to come together as a community. So we ask your blessing on this congregation, on our world. Bruchim hayini bevoenu, bruchim nihiyeh b'tzeitenu. Blessed were we in coming here. Blessed may we be as we go forth for this time and always. Shabbat shalom and Shana Tova.
Shabbat shalom. Shana
Shabbat
tova.
shalom. Shana tova.